Kia ora. I'm going to go through the recording and conclusion part of this example. And again, this example is on chicken breeding. So I'm looking for how many, the probability of getting 2 or more black chickens when 5 chickens are randomly selected, and how many chickens need to be checked. So I've went through writing how you'll use your tool and what a trial looks like in the last video, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like to record your results. Now in this assignment you're going to have 2 documents. The document that I'm showing you now, which you'll follow along with and write yourself, and also the Google Sheets where you'll record your results from your simulation. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've got my Google Sheet here, and I'm going to start writing out what all my trials are going to be. So trial, and so I want to do 30. I've said before that I want to do 30 trials. So this first one is going to be trial number 1. Now I could write out the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, but that would take a long time. So I'm going to show you how to do it quickly. If I type in number 1, I can write in a formula that will add 1 every time I go down. So I can write equals A2, which is this cell here because it's in column A, and cell 2, plus 1, which means that it takes the number that's in cell 2, A2, and it adds 1 to it, and that will give me number 2. So you can see the formula is A2 plus 1, but the number showing in the cell is 2. Now once I've done that, I can take that and look at this little blue square down the bottom right, and I click and hold that and bring it down. And that will get put in the same formula all the way down the list. So it will look at the cell above it and then add 1 to it. So every time you go down 1, you'll add another 1 to the cell. So you can see we start with 1, the next one's A2 plus 1, the next one is A3 plus 1, so A3 takes that cell and then adds 1 to it, and so on. And that has given me all the numbers 1 to 30 very quickly. You can see there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down what number chicken I'm looking at. Now because I said I will only use 5 chickens, I'm going to write chicken 1, and then I can take this and go along, and it will add 1 more to each of those. So chicken 1 is there, and then this added another 1 to that one, and so on. So I only have to write that once. It's really quick. So I've written down the trial number, I've said which chicken I'm looking at, and now I'm going to generate the random numbers which are going to represent something in the simulation. So I said before that the formula that I'm going to use is this one here. So I'm going to use that in here. So I'm going to write equals rand between, which means it will give me a random number between, and I want 1 and 10. And that's given me random number 5. Now again, I don't have to type that out for every single cell. I can just go along like this, and now that's giving me my full trial. Now you'll notice that these numbers change every time you add something to the sheet. I'll show you how to fix that later so that they stay the same, but for now we can let them change. So now that I've done my first trial, this is my first trial here, I can do it for all 30 trials. So I have to select all 5 of those, and then I select that little blue square there, and I bring it all the way down. Come here. I bring it all the way down to my 30th trial, and now all of my random numbers are generated. So it's really fast. Now if I add anything to the sheet, and we will need to do that, then it will change my numbers. So I need to copy it and paste it again in a way that stops it from changing. So I'm going to right click or on Chromebooks it's 2-finger click, and then I'm going to go copy. And so now you can see the little jagged lines around the outside. That shows that this is edited in some way, and we are copying it. Then I'm going to click in this cell. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go paste special and paste values only. If I just go paste, it will paste just the formula and it'll keep changing. So I have to do paste special and do paste values only. So it takes the numbers that are already there and it just pastes those, and in that way it's not going to change every time I change something in the sheet. So paste values only. And now you can see, instead of having a formula here, it just has the number 10. So that's no longer going to change. So we've generated all our random numbers. Now we need to assign them colors to show what they mean. So I'm going to write over here, key, black cell equals black chicken, and white cell equals not black chicken. So that's my key here, and now I'm going to show, I'm going to do that to these cells. So I select all the ones that I want to color, and we're going to do something called conditional formatting. So I've selected all of these, and now I'm going to go format, conditional formatting, which means based on a condition, something, based on a condition, it's going to color a certain way. So I'm going to make it based on the condition that it's between the numbers 1 to 4, it's going to be assigned black. So between there and there, format cells if I want to say text is between 1 and 4. And I'm going to assign it grey actually, so that I can still see the numbers. Okay, so I select all of these, I do format, conditional formatting, and then I go is between 1 and 4, because those are the numbers that are assigned to it being black. I'm going to make those ones grey to make it clear that those are grey chickens. So I might colour this, let's make that grey, and I'll type in grey cell is a black chicken. And I did it grey just so that I could see the number still, because if I made it black I might not be able to see the number anymore. So all of these chickens in this first trial were not black, and that matches up with the numbers that we said in our tool, where we said the numbers 1 to 4 represent getting a black chicken, and the numbers 5 to 10 represent not getting a black chicken. So you can see all the numbers here are the numbers between 5 and 10, so they represent not getting a black chicken. Here we have 3 not black chickens, and we have 2 black chickens. So this would actually be a successful trial, because we were looking for 2 out of the 5 chickens being black, and we have 2 of the 5 chickens being black. So now we're going to say whether this was a successful trial or not. So successful, y equals 1 equals yes. So we're going to do 1 as yes and 0 as no. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So in this trial here, there are no black chickens. So we didn't have 2 black chickens, so that's unsuccessful. So I put a 0 down. In this trial here, we had 2 black chickens. We want 2 black chickens, so that is successful. I'm going to put a 1 there. So when it's successful, you put 1. If it's not successful, you put 0. The next one, we have 3 black chickens in that line, and so we want 2 or more black chickens, so that is successful. The next one we only have 1, so that's 0. This one we have 3, that's successful because we want at least 2, so that's a 1. This one has 3 as well, that's successful. this is successful as well because we've got at least 2 black chickens. Same with this one. This one we only have 1. That's not successful. Only 1. We've got at least 2. Have none. Got at least 2. Got at least 2. Got at least 2. None. Got at least 2. At least 2. At least 2. So each time I'm looking along that line there, and I'm looking for 2 grey cells at least. This doesn't have 2, so I put a 0. This has 2, I put a 1. This has 2, I put a 1. This has 2, I put a 1. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, just to let you know, your numbers are going to be different as your random numbers here, and therefore this is going to be different. So please don't use my numbers to decide whether it's successful or not. You'll need to do that yourself. Because your numbers are going to be different, so it will give you the wrong answer if you follow mine completely. So I've said whether it's successful, so I write number of successful trials equals. Now, the reason that we put 1s and 0s is because we want to count the ones that are successful and not count the ones that are not successful. So because we put 1s in the ones that were successful, it's going to add to our total, but the ones that have 0 are not going to add to our total. That's why we put 1 for success and 0 for no. So we're looking at number of successful trials, and so we're going to see how many is in the total in here. And this is something you can do quickly as well, because we have a formula for this. So to add all of these numbers together to find the total successful trials, we're going to go equals sum, which means the total of all of these numbers in here. So I'm going to click, so you've got to go equals sum bracket, and then you select all the cells here. Oh, that went too far. Right to the end, close bracket, enter. So there were 21 successful trials there. Now, I'm almost done with my recording and calculation. I'm going to finish it off by finding the probability of it being successful. So we had 21 out of the 30 trials were successful. So my probability is 21 out of 30. So the probability of success, oh, you can't really see that, can you? So probability of success equals, and we write equals out this one divided by, so that's the slash sign, 30. And that's 0.7. Now there's different ways of working that out. That is just one way of working it out. So 0.7, 70% of our trials were successful. We had 2 out of the 4 chickens being black. So that's that. I'm going to move this cell over to there actually, so it is a bit neater. So that's most of what you need to do. If you finish here, you would pass. But you'd have to put it into your sheet first. You've done what you need to calculate, but then you need to put it into your sheet. So I'm going to go back into here and we're going to do the conclusion. So the probability of having 2 or more black chickens is the number of successful trials divided by the total trials, which is what we did here. We had the number of successful trials, so we counted all these up, and then we divided it by 30, which is the total number of trials. So that was 21 out of 30. 21 out of 30. Whoops. Which gave me 0.7. We don't need to do this part to pass, but it's really easy, so I think that you should watch the next video for that to see that as well. So we worked out the probability, so the estimated probability of getting 2 or more black chickens out of 5 is 0.7. And then this is the second part that you would do for that I'm going to show you in the next video. Any results found in the simulation should be treated with caution, as it is an estimate and likely would be different if the simulation was repeated again. Now this is important to say, because this is just an estimate. This is just an idea of what is happening, and it's based on random numbers. So if you did it again, you would get different random numbers and you might get a different result. So you need to say this in order to show that you understand that this is just an estimate. And that's you're almost done. So now that you've done this, you go share and then copy link. Just let that bell go. And we'll do anyone with the link. Actually, let's change this to Mount Roskill Grammar School. So copy link, and then you're going to paste that link into here to show what your recording is. So Command V. And then you're done. Watch the video for how to work out the final part and how to do your discussion. Thanks for watching.